Welcome to the Dairy Raid. Presented with over 20 years of coaching experience, the Dairy Raid provides commentary and analysis of the schemes, the players, and the coaches who create Wisconsin football's new identity. Now here's your host, Ryan Anderson.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Dairy Raid and the third quarter of Wisconsin versus Penn State. The turning point of the game. Maybe. Let's see how this third quarter played out. So here we go. 1st and 10. 11-yard line. Coming out 12 personnel. And running G power here where we're kicking out the edge defender. And I think this is a case where you look at the box angle. We normally don't run a kick out with the guard. It's usually down blocks and we lead. And this is a case where the G lead might have been better because of the little subtle line movement that we have here from Penn State, where one, we get the slant across here, but also the little step down by the defensive tackle here, because we don't get this double down drive into the linebacker. A linebacker is going to make the tackle. So with this wide alignment, either we just pull and we run inside trap here and just down block here and carry on to the second level, maybe kick out here, whatever, or like a double pull situation where pull kick here, we pull kick there, and we down everybody else. Or we go within the system and we just run the G lead where we down block everybody and let Huber find his gap, and maybe we pick up that line. So could have been executed better. I'm not exactly a fan of the scheme at that exact point. Maybe it was a half. All right, coming out 2nd and 10, 3-by-1, condensed. Okay, so now we're going to run GH lead. This is a little better. We end up getting body for body. The gap's pretty tight, but we wash everybody down, and Louis is able to get skinny and get through. So we'll take that. So down block, double down, pick up the double down. That's actually not that bad. It's a good job by 15, being square, wrong arming, really pushing Huber back into the pile. And pretty good also here by Ashcraft to find his target in the mess and at least create enough of a lane that we could. So, wasn't pretty, but we were able to pick up 4 yards. Okay? On the edge of being what we call an efficient play. All right, so we're coming out 3-by-1. We're in 10 personnel. Motion across. This is completely a coverage indicator. So what they're going to do here, they're going to motion, see the adjustment, and then they're going to call a play based on the adjustment. So the fact that they brought this nickel defender with, they're in man, and we saw how they adjusted. He's going to be on what is now the new slot. He's going to be out here. We see it. Okay, we saw how they aligned. Now let's readjust and get the matchups we wanted. I think they're trying to isolate Fretch here. I think that's exactly where they're looking. Okay, Vinny Anthony reads this leverage wrong because he doesn't understand who the flat defender is. So when you're reading a high-low read in a situation like this, we're taking off here and we're high-low here. We have to read the leverage of the defender who's going to cover my zone or cover me if it's man coverage. In this case, it's 4. Okay, we got a tight alignment, bunch alignment. First defender down is usually going to be the flat defender. So when he sits square, Vinny Anthony should be running for the whole shot. And that's exactly what he does, or what he should be doing, because that's exactly where Braedyn throws the ball. Now, overshoots it, yes, because I think he doesn't see the mug dropping linebacker here until late. And he kind of overshots it. But if Vinny Anthony keeps running, I can't see how high it is in comparison to where he would be at that spot. I mean, maybe he ends up throwing it away because Vinny Anthony did it wrong. But that's a missed opportunity. All right, so that leads to 4th and 6, and we end up punting. Happy that we have started fixing the punting issues. Atticus is turning into a pretty decent punter here. This is something that, I mean, we don't talk about special teams, where one of these clubs in Atticus's bag here, where we're rolling left, kicking it back to the right. That sets up not only a bad return, but also sets up for coverage because of how Penn State tries to leverage, assuming the ball is going to their right and it ends up going to their left. That's actually good special teams play. All right, so next series, 1st and 10, 3-by-1, dense to the field, formation to the field, so we are condensed. Split flow, we just get blown up at the point of attack. Joe Brunner just gets mauled. And it's because he gets mauled here that it actually kind of sets a chain reaction of this play getting worse. So with how they're blocking this, I would expect Jack Nelson to get here to here and pick up 41. But because Brunner just gets, see it here, just ripped inside, how much he's squeezing or how Nelson is coming down goes too far because he's trying to slingshot. Doesn't need to. If Brunner would have been a little bit more stout here, you could have absolutely slingshot into 41. But he ends up reaching too far, and then the closest guy he gets is 13. 41's. So, hey, Joe Brunner does not have a good. All right, 3-by-1, 2nd and 11. Okay, stretch. Absolutely nothing doing. Penn State did a really good job here with line movement. And here's a case where in one bad line movement, bad feet on a line movement ends up creating 2 unblocked defenders. Okay, so Brunner, again, he's attacking too wide. I mean, on a block like this, for me, he's attacking inside half. He's got such a long way to go if he's trying to get to the outside shoulder here, that he's basically running with his shoulders parallel or perpendicular to the line of scrimmage. He keeps him square, but he's working so laterally that it's super easy to just step inside. He does. Which leads us to 3rd and 14. Now, as you saw, I put up a one-shot video breaking this play down a little bit more detail, but we'll go through it. So, in this situation, you've got a skinny post, got a quick out, got a bender, seam to cross, and curl. We're creating options here because we want to get out of the shadow of our own goalpost for 4th down. At this point, our defense is still playing good. Our offense is playing inconsistent. And we don't want to create a situation where we create a big play for the defense and that carries over, in fact, our defense. So, we run a play with levels. As we'll go through the read here quickly, we're looking outside of Vinny Anthony. But because he takes too many steps to get off the ball, we're already dead. On to number 2. Number 2 is already dead based on leverage. Because in this case, with this alignment here, either 9 could pass Vinny Anthony off and 7 carries him on the post and he can jump the flat, or he can just play over the top, and if this ball is any kind of underthrown, it's pick 6. So ironically, Braedyn Locke comes off of this side quicker to avoid a pick 6. So we come back to the defender. The idea is not terrible. It's too aggressive. I'm not gonna say it's a little bit too. It's too aggressive. But when he gets in position to throw, I can see what he sees. We have leverage here. There is open grass here. And there's more open grass here. It could be there. So the decision to throw this ball while aggressive is not terrible. What kills this play? Shit pass protection. Joe Brunner gets beat. Braedyn Locke has to accelerate his throwing motion. He cannot step into the throw because Brunner is allowing the pocket to collapse in on him. He can't step up in the pocket because Renfroe has to help late and Malman is getting pushed back. And if he waits to either try to the curl, which he would never be able to get, or dump it off to the running back, I think he gets sacked. So, play call maybe, but we have options. Again, we should have had a better option down here that we couldn't take because we had a bad release. And we lost one man in a 5. This is 5-man. Penn State is rushing 4. Hell, they're rushing 3. But with this simulated pressure look, this is how you can create free rushers in situations where you have less rushers than they have blockers. This is the Sam Darnold seeing ghosts situation from a couple years ago. So, football is a team sport. Like I said in the one shot, many players contributed to the failure of this play. But on the broadcast angle, all the blame is right here. He deserves a good chunk of the blame. But he's not the only one. We can pick 3 other guys on this play. End up how it is. But let's look and see what Braedyn does after this next series. Okay? It's only 14-10. So, 1st and 10, 34-yard line. Going to motion. Okay? They don't come across with the motion. So this RPO, now we're reading the flat defender who's moving over with him. He's staying flat-footed. Easy decision to pitch and catch and get it out in the flat to Will Pollen. Easy pitch and catch. And pretty smart decision. Could we have handed it off here? Probably. Now, that being said, our safety here is completely unblocked. Oh, he probably meets this in the end. So, this is the higher percentage play. It's the smart play. That's the one. All right. Oh, 2nd and 5. That was an efficient first down. 2nd and 5. Okay, so we're going to run a little power shovel here. This is a different play. I like seeing new schemes. All right, so we're going to run G lead. We're going to leave the end here free. We're going to run outside zone track here with 3. And then we're going to run, I believe this is Jackson Acre, a little shovel pass in. We're reading this end. He crashes with the down blocks. We're going to hand it off outside. If he widens backfield action, we're going to shovel pass it inside. Okay, it's a nice little concept and another way to get Braedyn Locke involved in the zone read game without him actually having it. So, What ends up happening here, though, is Penn State runs a stunt, and Braedyn Locke ends up reading the wrong guy. Now, if you look at the box angle, even though he ends up reading the wrong guy, it's still probably the right decision. Hand it off. Because 28 runs a stunt here across the face of Renfro. Renfro is looking to block down because he's the pull check of Brunner. So really, this should be on Joe Hubert. And I think he knows it. He steps inside way too slow. He's looking that he might have to combo up on 50 to the linebacker when he should be thinking, I'm going for 13 or 28 and 13. Should be doubling down to the backside backer. Front side backer should be picked up by the. So in a case like this, the best option is to just hand it off, as poorly as the result may have. All right, so next up, 3rd and 6. A 3-by-1 to the field, offset the back to the weak side. So we're going to run wheel from the number 2. We're going to run the bending corner from number 3, and then we're going to run a little dagger slant here. Okay, and then catching Penn State in man coverage. And this is nice play design. Good job by Braedyn sticking his foot in the ground, throwing a nice ball, nice catchable ball that allows Vinny Anthony to turn upfield, and we're able to convert. Now it is 1st and 10. Here we go. Moving the ball a little bit. Okay, 2-by-2. Okay. If you would tell me that this is the quarterback who threw the pick 6 like 4 plays ago and then just drops a dime like that, you wouldn't believe that. That's a hell of a throw. Quick drop, set, good placement where either our guy's going to catch it or it's going to drop out of bounds. That's what we need. Recover after a poor play like we had on the 6. Excellent throw. A 1st and 10, 18-yard line. We're starting to move the ball again. We're down by 4 points. 3-by-1. Okay, so here we've got a package play. So we're 3-over-3 here, so we're not going to throw the bubble. So we need to read out here. And Penn State's edge defender plays so wide that he can squeeze at a very hard angle, yet he can control the quarterback. So as much as maybe Braedyn should have kept this, at 15 might swallow him up. Okay? Now that being said, sorry, that's there we go. There we go. Thank you. All right, so what ends up happening here? Well, Joe Brunner gets beat. Joe Brunner digs him out, but he gets his head down, weight down, and 50 just sheds him like he's taking off a bib. Boom, down, hands, boom. And annoyingly, as Brunner gets shed, he ends up tripping Jack Nelson, and now 41's unblocked. So, yeah, Joe Brunner is not having a good 3rd quarter. But we live to see another day. 2nd and 11. Wide angle, please. Thank you. Okay, motioning to 3-by-1. State rolling safety down, so they have 7 in the box now. Okay, we're running it again. We're running stretch this time. So they're running a scrape exchange blitz. So they bring the safety down because they're basically the blitzing. So he becomes the edge defender. Again, he's playing wide enough that he can contain the quarterback as he's running parallel to the line of scrimmage. Again, there's not much he can do about it. So it is what it is. 3rd and 9. Stall a little bit. Here we go. So we're going to come back out and we're going to run the wheel dagger slant concept that we ran earlier. And this time Penn State runs a switch. And they see this right away. They call the switch. Now, Vinny Anthony, that's a heck of a catch. Even control this. Because at least we get some yards on it. I don't think Braedyn would have had enough time to sit and wait for the corner to develop, because that would be the number 2 route in this concept, because we ended up coming short here instead of breaking up the wheel. So that's the variation on this. But Will Pauling gets shoved to the ground, so that ends up killing that. At least we get a couple yards, but unfortunately it's not enough to get the first down, which leads to 4th down, and Nathaniel Vakos kicks another field goal, bring the Badgers within. And there we are, end of the 3rd quarter. Football is a team sport. Share the success, share the blame. And it's super easy to pile on what your eyes see, but you have to see the whole picture. The least valuable player of this 3rd quarter was not Braedyn Locke. It was Joe Brunner. And I guarantee you, Joe and AJ Blazek and the entire offensive line are killing themselves in the meeting room this week, thinking the same thing, how their poor play in this 3rd quarter was a catalyst. Because that's what good teams do. The teammates do. They don't blame the guy who pulling the trigger. They take ownership of what they're part of. All right, so that's the 3rd quarter. We'll come back tomorrow with the 4th quarter where the rails kind of fully off. But we're going to do it for the sake of being completionists here. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching.